This is the shifter plate off of my 1975 Corvette Stingray, and as you can tell, it's seen better days. One of the previous owners spray painted over it, trying to make it look nicer or freshen it up, but that's just not the way to do things. I mean, you can see they spray painted over all of this chrome trim on the sides. I mean, there are better ways of doing it. They really did no prep work at all doing this, and I'm going to try to reverse that today. Clean off all of this paint with some alcohol gently, because it actually has, if you can see here, some texture, right? Chevrolet added some texture here, and this is a cast metal piece. Really, really nice. And I'd hate to have to replace it, especially since it's probably $200+ to replace this thing, which would look perfect, but we're going to try to save money where we can. And part of owning older things, nice things, and not having the money to just replace everything is learning to clean things up and freshen things up on your own, and save a few dollars. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. All right, to give you guys a little bit of insight on my thought process when doing something like this, you're going to want to start with the least aggressive solvent possible and work your way up from there. You'll see here I start with isopropyl alcohol, which it does a bit of a good job. I mean, it starts to take the paint off, but I quickly realized that scrubbing this thing with a nylon brush is just going to take a long time. You're going to see here, I'm going to do a couple rounds of scrubbing, adding alcohol, scrubbing in different parts, testing to see how it works in each part, and really I barely even make a dent. While it would go a lot faster if I used some sort of a wire wheel or metal brush or something like that, I'm really trying to not strip that chrome plating or damage the texture. See, if I used a wire wheel, I might wire that texture down. And like I said, not a whole lot of progress here. This is like 2 rounds of scrubbing, adding alcohol, scrubbing, and I just barely got to bare metal, but that's okay. I'm done asking. We're going to the nuclear option. I'm letting this thing sit in acetone for a couple of hours, and check this out. That paint started to come right off, which was great because I really wanted to get this thing down to bare metal in order to scuff the chrome and tape it up and prep it how I need to in order for the paint to stick. Before anybody freaks out in the comments, no, acetone does not damage chrome plating. But you know what it does damage though? Rubber gloves. I went through like 6 pairs of rubber gloves cleaning this thing off. When I worked on cars professionally, and it was on the boss's dime, I was using gloves left and right. Anything I would do, new project, new gloves. That was the deal. But now that I'm at home and I'm paying for the gloves, it's exactly the same thing. I'm still using gloves left and right, but the problem is that I'm now paying for them. With this thing all clean, it's time to start scuffing some of the chrome in order to allow the primer to stick. To protect the edges, you'll see later on that I'm going to actually tape off and mask off the edges first and then scuff the chrome in order to not damage the parts that I want to remain shiny. Once I'm confident that these Brillo pads are going to do a good job with scuffing this chrome, it's time to start masking off the edges that I want to stay chrome when I start painting. And I have something really cool to show you guys. This is like pinstriping tape, I want to say. It's probably not exactly pinstriping tape. It might just be masking tape that's really thin. But I call it pinstriping tape because it's real thin, like a pinstripe. You can find this on Amazon super, super cheap. This specific one that I got sticks so well. It's really great. I really liked using this stuff. I use it for miniatures and I use it for other type of fine painting projects. It took a long, long time to mask off all the fine details and make sure I got the edges just how I wanted them. You'll see in the final product, it's a lot of masking. Unfortunately, my phone didn't have the storage space to do a time lapse of the whole thing, so we'll skip a bit through it and I'll just show you the end. So here it is. This is one heck of a masking job. I took my sweet time making sure all of the edges were good because anything will show in the end. Like I said before, I'm going to start scuffing now after I've laid all the tape down because I want to protect all those edges and stuff from the scuffing. I want those to stay shiny. After scuffing the whole thing, I blew it off with some compressed air, and I'm going to hit it with at least 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of base, and 2 coats of matte clear. I decided to go with an airbrush so that I can get really fine coats and good control of how much paint I'm putting on the project. Because the thing is, when you start using a rattle can, you don't really have a whole lot of control over how thick those layers are. And I really didn't want to cover up any of that texture. It's a really fine texture, and you can see from the previous owner's job that he covered up all that texture by putting tons and tons of spray paint on there. With this airbrush, you can lay really fine coats of paint, and it comes out very even and very nice. After hitting it with that deep black airbrush base coat, look how nice this thing is starting to look, and that nice black color is starting to really pop now. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot of pitting and stuff around the edges that you can see that there's really nothing I can do about it short of sanding all that texture down, and I really didn't want to open that can of worms. I'm going to leave it how it is, and you know what? It's way better than what it was before. Sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles and know that less is more, so messing with this less is going to be way better for the project later on. After hitting it with a couple of coats of matte clear, it's time to pull the tape and see what we're left with. All right, guys, so I finished up with the shifter plate, and I'm so happy with how this thing came out. I mean, night and day from how the previous owners had left it. You know, I was able to keep all the chrome trim. I painted exactly how it came from factory. I mean, it's not perfect. There's still some pitting and stuff like that. There's really nothing I can do about that, but that's serviceable. And I just saved myself over $300. I think I checked these things out. They're $330 brand new to buy these things. And these little plastic pieces like this, well, this one was original from this panel. I actually polished it a while ago. I didn't film it, but you can buy the slide seals. I'm going to probably refinish the ashtray and also the AC controls that go there. But night and day, this is going to go great in my car. And you guys can do it yourself. It just goes to show how much money you can save. And like I said, $300 plus, 330 something dollars this would have cost me. And I just redid it myself with an airbrush and some tape, and it's really good. I really like how it came out. Really happy with it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you like content like this, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. I've got more coming, more instructional stuff, more cool stuff like this. And yeah, I got a lot of projects on the way. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.